Come here, Louie. Hi, I am hoping to see questions and answers. I'm celebrating 5 years. I may see that a couple of times. I've never gone live before. So I am going to try to answer as many questions as I can. And I'm grateful for all of you who have signed on today. I've got my dog Louie, who has been my therapy dog through all of this. It's been really hard for me to celebrate this month because cancer is a very serious and emotional thing to go through. And I go through survivor guilt. I go through it every single year on my anniversary date, especially since it's October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And a lot of people don't know that I go through a grieving period during that time because I meet so many amazing women who share their stories so vulnerably and open with me, who want to beat it like I did, and I want them to as well. I have 2 family members fighting cancer right now as we speak, and I respect their privacy. My twin sister is celebrating a year. She had the same exact cancer that I had and went to the same place that I did. I am not sure why. I interviewed with Chris Wark, and I'm not sure why he hasn't shared publicly where I went. I've asked him to. It's a Catholic hospital in San Luis Sonora, Mexico, and there are 11 rooms designated there for the treatment that me and my sister did. It's cmnact.com, and it's actually on my website, shannonsstory.com. So Shannon's Story is spelled SHANNONSTORY.com. And then there's Angels for Shannon, which has wonderful information that I continually update to teach people how to fundraise. No one is ever prepared, and nobody wants to save their money for a diagnosis of cancer. And I certainly didn't. If not for my dearest friends in Washington and for so many Earth Angel strangers who donated, I wouldn't be here today. So I want to say thank you right now, because there are so many of you on my Facebook that helped save my life, and you should all be wearing halos or capes for being my hero. And not a day goes by where I am not grateful. I can't look at anything in my life and not feel lucky or blessed. So what I would like to do is look at questions and answers. I would like to address some of the most common questions that I am asked. I get email, and people ask me what diet I'm on. I'm not being sarcastic when I say that the diet is in my mind. It's how I feel about people. It's how I feel about my family. It's the transformation that took place in my heart. And I don't know why, but people are more focused on the juicing thing and coffee enemas, and they kind of think that that is the best thing. And the worst letters I get in my inbox are serious critical stage 4 cancer warriors who have done a year of changing their diet, and then after talking to them for a while and them deciding to be vulnerable with me, I realized there was a lot of unresolved emotional issues, which isn't bad. I had a lot, and I had to work through it. I had to work through it through reading books. I had to work through it by really taking an honest look at people I needed to apologize to. We talk about forgiveness, but the apology part gets left out. And what I mean by that is it's really hard to apologize to people in our past, even if you know they may not forgive you, and they might keep treating you horribly because of something you have done. And it doesn't have to be major, but it could be something that's kind of tattooed on your heart and it's dark. It's like getting a bad tattoo that you got to remove. So I wanted to be really clear about that. That was more important to me than my diet. And for some reason, I think people kind of skip over the part where I'm talking about how I had positive affirmations on my ceiling, my water bottle. I even got like these little body crayons, different colors, and I would put them underneath my shirt and draw hearts and happy faces. And I would listen to the music that I'm listening to right now, which is Terry Giselle. It's soaking. It's soaking music, where you're kind of soaking in the Holy Spirit. I am a Christian. I've done a couple of interviews and they leave that part out. So I decided to go live and talk about who I am, what I've done. And I am a Christian who relied on the Lord. Both times that I fought cancer. The first time that I fought cancer, I did the vegan, the natural juicing and all of that, and it didn't work. Cancer came back with a vengeance. I don't know why. Maybe it was because I hadn't resolved things that I was angry in my heart about. And we all go through that. We're all human. So I can't be clear enough about that, to have a gratitude journal so that while you're going through the discovery phase of what am I angry about, start being grateful. And while we are sick, bless another life. Force yourself to go on to your Facebook, the World Wide Web. Force yourself to go on there and inspire somebody, because there could be someone just hanging on by a pinky and ready to give up. And you could write the most encouraging thing or post something beautiful and it could save them for that day. I hope I'm still connected. It said it was trying to reconnect. If anyone could let me know, that would be great. Helps ourselves. It's kind of like hurting someone hurts ourselves. You can't pick up mud and throw it at somebody without getting mud all over yourself. Well, you can't even pick up glitter and throw it at someone without getting it all over yourself. So you got to choose. How am I going to behave during this time where I'm trying to be courageous and strong? So these are the conversations I have every day with people. And for some reason, when people want to interview me, they want all this other stuff. They want the magical cure. And life is a mystery. Death is a mystery. And the doctor that I went to never made me a promise. He's not ever going to promise anybody. And the treatments I did were less than what he has now. And they beat it at stage 4. And Dr. Payan was my angel. And I've been back there before for pneumonia because I was on all these antibiotics that weren't working. What I would like to address is a couple of things. I get letters from women who have triple positive breast cancer. They've got the HER2 positive, and they want to know if they can beat it too. The letters that I get, the women that are beating it, they are doing the Herceptin, and they are doing the natural. They're doing integrative. And I think it's so important that we not get scared of our doctors. There are a lot of documentaries out there saying that they're just out there to kill us. They're not. I have 2 family members that have a type of cancer. Again, I'm respecting their privacy, that must have their treatment. The type of drug that's prescribed, it's been proven to be successful. And then there's leukemia and the triple positive. I believe fundraising and doing everything you can to boost your immune system before you start chemotherapy is just as important as doing it after. And that we each have to really feel strong about the choices we make. See, I respect anyone even if they chose chemotherapy, because they're putting their arm out each time for treatment and they're saying, I believe. Half of our battle is faith in our treatment. And the families involved need to support them. They need to support family members that are fighting for their life. And what I mean by that is, quite clearly, if they believe getting holy water from the Pope is the answer and kneeling at the edge of their bed and praying, then this is the way. And until you've had that diagnosis, until you've been thrown on the battlefield, not choosing, but forced to fight for your life, it does feel like the enemy is behind you, chasing after you with guns and ammo, and they want to take you down. And the family has to get into their place. They have to understand that this battle is real, and that we are terrified, and that we have everybody telling us what to do. But I wrote about this on shannonsstory.com. It's like being on an airplane and the pilot, you're going to Hawaii, you're happy, and you're going to have a blast. And then all of a sudden the pilot says that the plane's going to crash, and that we have access to our cell phones, and we can talk to any family members that we want, and friends. We have 100% access to use our phones, and everybody is calling in, telling us how to survive this plane crash that is inevitable with only a 2% survival rate. And I want to tell you that when we have loved ones with cancer, yes, we are going through those 5 stages of grief. I'm going through it right now with family that I love. But it was nothing compared to what it was when I had to choose how to fight for my life. And I would look at my fundraiser. Angels for Shannon used to be a fundraiser to save my life. And I'd look at it, and it's like I determined the value of my life. Did anybody donate today? Did somebody donate $20? And these were my friends on Facebook. In fact, there were people, and this is true, there were people writing bad things that I didn't really have cancer. There were people writing all kinds of things, and it's really sad but true. And I think some of you will be able to write and say that family has not been as supportive as they could have been. And I forgive everybody, because they don't know what we're going through. They don't know that we're looking here going, what weapon do I pick up? Do I go to chemo? Do I choose that path? Do I go to alternative? If I choose alternative, they're saying, well, I'll only donate if you do chemo. And if you do alternative, I'm not donating because you're a fool. Do they understand the hard choices that we have to make, and that we're terrified? I have to get a glass of water. Hold on. I don't know how this live thing is done, but I'm just trying to be real here today, because I'm getting so many messages in my inbox, and it's hard to manage them. In fact, some of them come on Facebook, but they don't friend request, or maybe I can't get to the friend request, and so they think I'm ignoring them, and then 3 months later they'll say you're too late, and they'll criticize me. But I think that anyone that shares their cancer story is pretty darn brave, and I want to say thank you to all of you that share. Okay, so about the sharing part, I want you all to know that the Hippocratic Oath has kind of been tossed out a little bit. And there are great doctors out there that may not have testimonies on their website. Those are paid testimonies. By law, you need to pay someone for putting a testimony on the website. I'm gonna say it. It's like saying the emperor is naked when he's naked. He's buck-ass naked. So they're not gonna put if someone died, because that's grim. It's just sad. So you've got to be realistic, and you got to go, every single doctor that's fighting to save a life has dealt with life and death. Every single one. The doctor that saved my life has dealt with death. You have to look at the treatments, and you have to make a choice that you feel good about. And then you've got to figure out how much money to raise. And you can't be me. You can't get that promise, but you have got to act quickly. Many women diagnosed with breast cancer wait because of a graduation, because of a wedding, because of a vacation. The person that's donating money wants them to do this. I want to tell you that it's not strep throat you're fighting, it's not tonsillitis, it's cancer. And the people that contact me are not stage 2. For the most part, they are stage 4 or stage 3, and they tried juicing, it didn't work. They tried all of that, and now they're panicking. I don't want you to panic And I don't want you to beat yourself up because you chose something else. You have to keep trying and not give up. You have to. It's not over. I did radiation on this area right here on my sternum because I was going to be paralyzed. Yes, I had cancer in all lobes of my lungs. My family's on my Facebook. It's not a mystery. They know what I went through. And I got sicker. I did 22 rounds and it caused fluid in my lungs, and I got pneumonia. I got staph infection from where they cut me right here. And it was very scary. I had to think of what to do next. So I couldn't have done chemo even if I wanted to, but I don't think I would have because I lost some family members that did do chemo. I cannot tell you how important it is. I can't tell you enough how important it is to act quickly. If you have to borrow money to get to the place you want to go to, you borrow, but you still fundraise and you say, look, I'm willing to show you how I'm going to pay you back. And you get a fundraiser going. You build a website like I did on Angels for Shannon. I did a slideshow. My friends we put businesses that donated, we promoted their businesses. Angels for Shannon tells you how to do that. You can have one big fundraiser at an establishment that plays music and just ask them what's your slowest day and do the fundraiser on that day. So we chose Jazz Bones in Washington Sunday from 11 to 11. Thank you, Jazz Bones in Tacoma, for allowing us to do that. There's so many creative ways. So I'm going to keep this short. I don't want to take up anyone's time, but I just wanted to share that because I've been afraid to talk about my anniversary because I've dealt with 3 deaths this year. One was a dear friend of mine and 2 others that worked and fought so hard to save their life. And I became friends with them. It tore me apart. And every single person that contacts me becomes my friend. And of course, I'm going to hurt and want everybody to beat it like me. But I also, because I'm Christian, remember that there's God and we're all going to be together. That's my faith, that we're all going to be together one day. So every day that you are here, give it your best. Help another soul. And I believe there are many, many places out there trying to save lives, and that it shouldn't be a competition, but that we should be honest and we should share what we know, whether it's HER2 positive, multiple myeloma. We need to stop beating up doctors in America. Conventional medicine, if you go to them with cancer, they must recommend chemotherapy, surgery, radiotherapy, and hormone therapy and other therapies. It is required for them to do that. They are not trying to kill you. That's ludicrous. My son's a paramedic, so it hits home for me. He tries to save lives all the time. There's no death that is his fault. And doctors are trying to save lives. So that's all I have to say. God bless you all. Please go to Angels for Shannon and learn how to fundraise, and families and friends support those who are fighting for their life and listen to what they want to do. Thank you.